All right. Um, Going to share my screen. Um, Everybody who's present has already taken the progress learning, and I thank you for that. Um, Piper, for some reason, your scores are not showing up in the gradebook, but I know you did it, so I gave you credit for doing it. And hopefully the next one we won't have that issue because I know you did both of them, and neither one is showing up in the progress gradebook, but I saw you do it, so I'm just going to give you credit for having done it. But we're going to work on the recap worksheet today. We're trying to try to get this submitted today. So if you would find, let me close out this for a minute. So if you would get your pedigree video recap, if it should be on your homepage. So we watched a video on pedigree in the with the Amoeba sisters, and they kind of outline how to read a pedigree chart. That video is in the playlist. So if you need to go back and look at that, it's there. But I'm going to kind of walk through what you need to do with this worksheet. All right. I'll give you a minute to pull it up, and maybe a couple of other people who are missing will show up as well. I won't have to repeat this twice. Okay. All right. And Natalie, that's okay. I'm going to tell you what you do, and you all will work on completing this worksheet and get that submitted by next week. Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get started. Everybody else is late. Okay. Um, the characteristic that they're looking for is mentioned in the top. So it is important that you read directions on this page because the directions give you the information that you need as far as what individuals you are crossing on your pedigree. It says, consider that a pedigree is tracking an autosomal trait. So again, remember the autosomal means that it's found in the body cells. I mean, the chromosomes that code for the body cells. So you have 23 chromosomes altogether, 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 chromosomes altogether. 22 of those pairs code for everything going on in your body. So those are autosomal cells. The other two pairs are the sex chromosomes, the X and the Y, and they code for everything that is maleness and femaleness. And there are certain other traits that are also found only on those chromosomes. And later on the worksheet, they talk about those, we call those sex-linked, meaning they are only found on those chromosomes. They're not found on the autosomal cells. All right, so we're looking at a trait um, okay, 1 second. Someone is coming. All righty. Good morning, Landon. Landon, I'm going to explain this worksheet, and then I need you to go to do the progress learning assignment. That's because that's going to be past due. And let me explain that again for everybody. You all have to take the end of course test, the state end of course test in April. And what the Lighthouse is wanting us to do on Wednesdays is to do progress learning, which is practice exam questions. So on Wednesdays, I'll give you that assignment. There won't be a unit test for that. I mean, assignment on Wednesdays. We're just going to do the progress learning assignments on Wednesdays. Okay, so that's what we're just. that was assigned Wednesday. So Landon and Malik, you have to do them. Everybody else has already done them. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So now we're working on this worksheet. All right. So the question at the top says that there are two recessive alleles that result in the inability to uh, taste the chemical PTC. Okay, so again, when we're using, because somebody did this wrong on their worksheet, we only use one letter and we use the capital letter for the dominant characteristic, lowercase letter for the recessive. So they have chosen the letter T, and I guess that's for taste. Um, and they said your two recessive alleles will result in the inability to taste this particular chemical that's called PTC. The ability to taste it is demonstrated with a dominant allele, which would be the capital T. All right, then they want you to complete the chart below. The chart is going to be your key. You're going to use this key in order to build your pedigree chart for number 16. All right, they've done the first row for you, and this is how they want you to complete the chart. They've said the male has a genotype of 2 capital T's, so he is a taster. He can taste this chemical. Pedigrees, when we're just drawing them, we use squares for males and we use circles for females. All right. Also, in the video, we learned that if the person has the characteristic, we're going to shade the box, and if they don't, we don't shade it. So on this first row, he's a taster. We're going to use a square to represent him, and we're not going to shade the box. All right, second row, we have a male with a capital T, lowercase t. He is still a taster because the capital T says he is going to mask the lowercase t. Okay, so he's a carrier. He has the ability, it's a male, he has the ability to taste, but he's a carrier. You're going to draw a square for him. So square would be number 2. And you're not going to shade it because he does not have that, he's not showing that trait. All right, the last one, number 4 is male genotype is small t, small t. He is not a taster. He's a non-taster. Okay, you're still going to draw a square, and this time you are going to shade the square. Okay, all right. And again, if you need to go back over that video, please do so. Female, female. So same thing as the top, 2 capital T, she's a taster. You're going to draw a circle for her. It's not going to be shaded because she does not have the trait. All right, next one. Again, the capital T, lowercase t. She's a taster. You're going to draw a circle for her, and it's not shaded because she still does not have the trait. She's a carrier. The last one, she is a non-taster. It's a circle, but you're going to shade it because she does have the trait. Okay? All right. So this is your key that's going to help you identify all the boxes that you're going to draw in the next scenario. So they're taking a couple that has the ability to taste, but you don't know what their genotypes are yet. But they have 2 grown sons and 1 grown daughter. So you are going to start by the first generation, or the first filial generation. You're going to draw a mom and a dad, a square and a circle. And you can, for this one, you can put the initials inside because they're not going to be shaded because they are tasters. But we don't know what the initials are yet. But based on the information, this is the sons, both sons have the ability to taste, and their daughters is a non-taster. Okay, so you need to look up here on your chart what initials are a non-taster daughter going to look like, and what initials will the taster sons have. Okay, so then the way you draw this, you draw a horizontal line to show that the parents are married, so the lines are connected across. Then you draw a line down from that, and let me go back to the video thing for a minute. Let me pull that up. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute while I pull up the video, because I just want you to have a visual of what that's supposed to look like. It's not going to be. Okay, stop. That's not what I want. Uh, Um, Actually, I don't want to do it like that either. I just want the video. Okay. I'm trying to pull up just the video and not the lesson, because the lesson was embedded. Why'd you do that? Oh, this thing keeps jumping. This is not cooperating with me at all. Finally. Okay. Mm.
Chromosome. In human body cells, there are 46 chromosomes. The first 44, 22 pairs, are autosomes.
Okay, I don't want to
The
play the
last
video.
two, one pair, are sex chromosomes. So this trait is not sex-linked since it is autosomal.
Okay, I don't need all of that. All I want for you is, all right, this is what we want to look at. All right. So we want to, okay. All right, so this is what you're trying to do. You are trying to create this, and you're
Big
going to,
E
and you're,
or big E little e. Remember,
and again, I don't want you to talk. I just want you to, all right. So this is what you have to create. Complicated as this, but just basically the right side of the screen. You have the mother and the father are going to be connected, and it's not going to look like this because your traits are different. Whoops, it moved.
There are a lot of sex-linked recessive traits. Color.
You're not doing sex linked. Come back.
They will have to get a little E from number 8, as that's
Okay, back again. All right, what I wanted to show you again is that you will need to have a line connecting the mother and the father, and that's going to be a horizontal line. From that line, you want a line going down, and in this particular scenario on yours, you're going to have 3 offspring. So you're going to have not like this, you're just going to have a line that connects a vertical bar to 3 individuals. You're going to have 2 squares and 1 circle. You want to put on yours, you want to put the circle on the end because on your worksheet, she's going to get married. So you have to include the marriage person. And that's going to be like this person on number 9 off to the side is the person that number 8 married. So they will be connected with a horizontal line. Okay. And then I think that worksheet also tells you that they had 2 children as well. Hold on, let me come back. Yes. All right. So yes. So it's kind of going to look like this, except that yours have different traits. All right. So again, I just wanted you to see that when your finished diagram will have 3 generations. You're going to have the parents connected by a horizontal bar. You're going to have a vertical bar connecting 3 offspring. Again, you should put the daughter on the end because then she's going to marry and then they're going to produce 2 offspring. So yours should look similar to this in drawing. As far as shading it in, it's going to be different to this picture because your characteristics are going to be different. And you have to determine that by whether or not, let me come out of this, come back to the worksheet. Okay, so again, you are following the descriptor. You have to first of all figure after you can put your boxes and circles in, but you can't put the initials in until you figure out first of all what the parents are. What did the parents have to be in order to produce sons that are um, tasters and a daughter who is a non-taster? And then she marries someone and she marries a non-taster and then they have 2 sons. So then you have to figure out what will the 2 sons be if both parents are non-tasters. Okay, so that's your challenge there for number 16. All right, then you have to answer 17, 18, and 19. All right, down here, again, they have decided that the characteristic now is sex linked. That means they're going to have the little coefficient at the top on top of the X and Y. So then you have to figure out what characteristics will the person in number 1 have if they had offsprings that look like this on the bottom. What do they have to be? Okay. All right. And then from there, so 20 and 20 through 24 do not have anything to do with the question about. So, but the picture goes with 20. And then the rest of the questions you have to just answer. This one is a setup for 23 and 24. All right, so work on that and upload that today. Landon and Malik, you all need to be working on that progress learning first and then work on your worksheet. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, Isabella, this was the worksheet, that pedigree worksheet, pedigree video recap. And again, it goes with the video that, well, it doesn't really go with because you can watch that video to give you some more, review the background. Okay. So again, that video is in the playlist if you wish to watch it again. It explains when you should shade a box and when you shouldn't shade a box. And Okay, let me look at them. Also, the module that it goes with in Canvas is the pedigree lesson. So they also have this chart here that also tells you about shading and not shading. They also explain that you put a line through the box if they're a carrier. So it's completely shaded if they're affected. It's shaded if you can do a half line if they're a carrier. This also represents deceased, but mm, da, 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 da. There we go. This will also help you with knowing what to solid shades and not non-shades and empty boxes. Okay. All right. So again, your picture is not going to be as elaborate as the one that's on the screen now, but it is going to have 3 generations. Well, it's all right. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you're going to put the letters in the box, make sure you, make sure you save it with, shade it with a light color so the letters show, or put the letters to the side of the circle or square. Also, they mentioned in the video if it's possible for them to be both the dominant, homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant, you need to put both, put them side by side. Where did Landon go? All right, Natalie, I know you have to go. You have any questions before you go? Okay. Just all right. If the person, Malik, if the person has the trait in the case of your activity, are they a taster? If they are a taster, then the circle or the square will be shaded. If they're a non-taster, it will not be shaded. You're welcome. All right, if you get a chance, if to finish before time is up, there is a pedigree challenge on the Canvas page, so make sure you try to do that. Um, we only have one more lesson in this module. That's karyotype, so we'll look at that next week and do a karyotype practice. So that's published if you and genetic disorders. So that is next week, and then we will be finished with this unit, which means we'll be testing it. So this would be a good time to go back and review all the vocabulary words because there's a lot of them. Okay. All right. So if you have no questions for me, you are free to log out. Make sure you complete those worksheets and turn them in. You have a great weekend.